Hello, everyone. This is Elias. Welcome to the EFM Finals for KTaNE League Fall 2020. Uh, as always, I'm joined in the commentator booth by people who do a much better job at commentating than I do. That would be Yaba Guy and Rock Dude.
Hi.
Excellent.
Still back again out here with the white Yeezys.
Oh, so as usual, we'll go through this. This is the finals for EFM. So, last showdown between Espic and Procyon. Espic has. Espic is saying he doesn't remember his times on his bombs and doesn't feel like looking them up, which I approve of because they're not supposed to share it anyway.
Well, we'll soon find out, won't we?
We will indeed. All right, so 3 bombs as usual. This is back to, since it's the final, this is back to kind of the Swiss rules. 1 neutral bomb, 5-5-1 split, with the extra one being a member of the staff picks, and then a 7-3 split, 7-3-1 split in advantage of each player. We're going to start with the neutral bomb, actually, which we'll get into here in a few minutes to kick things off. And then we'll do Espix, and if we need Procyon's afterwards, we'll do his. We'll take a look at their video. Before we kick this off, this is the last video of the season, sadly. So at the conclusion of this, I'll actually hop into an open channel in the Discord server if anybody wants to talk final thoughts. But we will watch these videos. We'll have Espic and Procyon hop in if they want to discuss anything, any thoughts, so on and so forth. But really, that's about all I've got to say. Yaba or Rock, do you have anything we should jump into before we take a look at the first video?
I mean, I'm the sort of person who always has thoughts on my mind. First of all, of course, Elias, thank you again for another successfully run league between this and team and EFM competition. If anyone wants to join the KTaNE community, I know most of us watching on the Twitch will probably be in the KTaNE community, but if you've seen this on YouTube, come join us. Discord.gg/KTaNE for Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. And as for the match at hand, we have two formidable competitors here, Espic and Procyon. And I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen the results, but of course they were two members of Stay Crazy, Stay Cruel. And it is little secret that they have been mostly going wire to wire in this competition as they went to that championship and have made it to the finals. That said, I'm wondering in future seasons of League if we'll see more people come out here, because I've seen in competitive in that Discord server many mission bomb teams who have been solving missions, and I think it's a matter of time before these two get a run for their money and perhaps in future leagues, be it team or EFM. Dude, I know I've said a lot here, but what do you make? And what do you make of this matchup tonight? I guess I'll ask you.
As for this matchup, from what I can see, it looks like we have still the amount of modules that we keep seeing and the pairings that we keep seeing as to what modules we see. They've just been getting more and more heated as we keep going through these, as we get the best of the best that we have. Not to say that anybody who was participating up to this point may not have had as hard modules, but definitely these are a lot more of the more toward the very hard side of things. For example, if I can't quite see the vetoes on my list because I'm just zoomed in right now. But for example, on Procyon's list, there is things like 14. We have things like pattern cube for the oriented. What's the word I'm looking for? For quite literally the oriented, and things like that. Whereas on Espic's side, we have not for the quick reactions, synchronization. I know that one can be kind of hard to tell apart in terms of which one's faster versus slower. and X-ray if you're unfamiliar with things like Xerox, where it's like scanning an image. I know those ones have caused some issues with a few in the past, and I wonder what kind of module combinations we can get with this one.
We
I
shall soon
know
see.
I know for the previous ones, Espic was always praying that he didn't see that 14. I wonder if he's still going to be lucky on this one.
Well, it will be luck of the draw here. As a reminder, each competitor has submitted a list of, this will be 15 modules, including one so-called boss module. You mentioned 14 for Procyon. Espic picked the good old Forget-Me-Not, the OG boss module, if you will. Modules that only can be
Classic.
solved at the end of the bomb. And this is a best of three, simply. As Elias mentioned, the format will be a neutral bomb where you pick evenly off each list, and one staff pick as well. And then on the next bomb, it will be Espic, who gets 7 off his list, and 3 off Procyon's, and 1 off the staff list. And in the final bomb, Procyon will get 7 off his list, Espic 3, and staff 1. These bombs are out of order. They were played 3-1-2 in actuality, but that is the format as you will see it here live or on demand. And it's great to have you watching either way. With that, I think we are about ready to get into the action, fair to say?
I think so. Before we do, actually, interesting. I'm not coming up on the little display on Twitch. That's sad. That's all right. Yep, Pro. Um, Before we start, Espic's video actually does have. He did kind of a little introduction before he got into his bombs, so we're gonna take a quick listen to that before we dive into the videos.
For the EFM section of the KTaNE League. And oh boy. Hopefully I'm going to put on a nice show for you guys today. One thing I do want to tell you right away is that the goal I had when doing this season was, I'm like, to not necessarily to win, but to make finals. Because the whole season, until I watched the quarterfinals and semis, I thought Procyon would wipe the floor with me. But given how he has a new PC and I think his morale is a little bit higher than before, I could be wrong. He could still wipe the floor with me. But I will definitely do my best, and like I said, my goal was to make it to finals, so goal achieved, and I'll still try to win, of course. And it's a possibility, and Caleb said that I would probably win this round. So let's just see if I can prove him right or prove him wrong. And first round, if you're watching this, you probably have seen the results already, but you're doing a great job. Keep doing great, and however you do your attempts, good luck, mate, and don't explode.
Procyon wishes the same to Espic for what it's worth. And I don't know. Seems like a big rope-a-dope from Espic. I think he's going to give it his all on this one for sure. And I'm not so quick to rule out Espic. It is true that Procyon was a formidable expert when we did Centurion runs among many other team bombs, but we'll just see about that, won't we?
We shall indeed.
Definitely.
When they were a formidable expert. Oops. Dan's game in the chat.
I do find them both to be very, very capable in terms of who can do what. Both of them, like I said earlier, have very formidable modules, hopefully playing to their respective strengths. And I know that even if you know some of these modules, sometimes they can just get you that one time when you really need them the most. So let's just hope everybody can stay on their toes for it.
As we pull up this, as I get this first video prepared, I would like to mention going into this, Espic in the Swiss round went 11-1. took 5 points in the quarterfinals, where points were not desired. 5 points in the semis. Procyon went 8-4 in the Swiss round with 7 points, and then 6 points in the quarters and then semis. So Espic goes into this very faintly a favorite, but it is the two of them have been very, very close the whole way through. All right, and we are ready for this bomb. So we will be listening from Espic's video for this first bomb. So let's just dive right into it.
That yellow module is Forget It Not. That's the boss off the staff pick list. What a fluke. Only one staff pick, and that happens to be it.
Simple yet follows more or less the same risks as regular Forget Me Not numbers that you miss.
At least this time you don't have any calculations to do. It's just replicating the digits exactly as you see it. As Espic mouses over Laundry and Procyon, they've solved the black page. And as you see, the yellow module updates Forget It Not, giving him another digit to jot down. A friendly reminder, this is best of 3. Whoever solves more modules, or if that's tied, whoever does it with more bomb time remaining wins a point, and the first to 2 points is the 2020 EFM League champion. Procyon is hacking Loop Over right now. The objective is to get all 25 letters into the grid in reading order. Espic noting in chat that we had a near laundry unicorn, a so-called condition with the widgets on the edge of the bomb that would have made it much easier. There was a lit bob indicator, and had there been a proper number of batteries, then laundry would have just been as simple as throwing in the coin rather than figuring out all the calculations.
Procyon maintaining that lead now with 2 solved.
Procyon mousing over Pi right now as Espic is beeping away at Loop Over. And now chord qualities as Procyon takes an early lead 3-1. 11 modules in 15 minutes the bomb configuration.
Now have Espic going for the black page as well and getting it correct. There we go.
Wow, that was quick. Espic had to find those measures in the manual page. It was just sheet music there, and he had to sort out all those notes, and he did it very quickly. Mastermind Cruel. Mastermind Cruel for Espic, and Espic's creation, Unown Cipher for Procyon.
The specific number colors.
Is it just me, or is Espic attacking this from right to left?
My understanding is that it doesn't exactly matter which one you do, just so long you keep track of which one you compare, kind of thing. Or you stay consistent. Like for example, I've seen when I was first doing it, you would move through and just cycle all the colors through each color, query and take note of how many of that color were right, and then you would start sorting them out, and as the number of positions were correct, you would kind of annotate that that color was now taken out of the known information. There's a few different ways to do it, to my knowledge.
Unknown Cipher solved by Procyon, and Espic got Mastermind Cruel done. Both are now eyeing varicolored squares, one of the families among the family of colored squares modules. The objective is to turn the entire grid one color.
Always had a little bit of a tough time telling you apart. I usually leave this part to my expert kind of thing. Whoever I might be playing with, that telling them apart, that is.
Look at that efficiency. Sorry to interrupt, Rock Dude. Espik seemed to make a more efficient shape overall, so I think he's gaining time on his Varicolored, although now Procyon has a good chunk of green, so he should get the solve in a matter of time. How much time is the question? As
Espik takes the lead with the chord qualities, yeah. It's really neck and neck on this first one. Ooh.
Espik solved Laundry. Laundry is one. Oh, Procyon strikes on Varicolored squares and has to go all the way back to start. You want to talk about a time advantage? Seems like we're seeing it early. As anyone who's played KTaNE knows, the timer accelerates on a strike, so you see the timers getting further and further apart.
The ratio for this first strike is like 25% faster or something like that?
That's correct.
Like a quarter of your time?
You have 80% of your time remaining at that point. Procyon's got it now, though. It's 6 solves to Espik 7. And now he's attacking Laundry, which he saved for 6 solves.
Very common thing. I know that I've been told to keep an eye out for 6 solves a lot of the times, too.
We hear a few thunks. That was probably Espik. Oh, he's working with a calculator, no doubt.
Oh, yeah. Fair amount of calculation going on in the waste management. One thing that was brought to my attention is, did you actually know that that brown bar on the right side can disappear?
Oh yeah, that's a nasty trap rule if you're not familiar with it. The rule of the brown bar is that you have to hit the green button immediately after. If you press anything else, you get a strike. And the worst part is apparently you keep getting strikes until you finally figure it out. I've seen experts on, well, Zen mode, obviously, where strikes don't blow up the bomb, just get strike after strike after strike because they just couldn't figure out what was going on.
Oh yeah. Killed one of the practice runs that we were doing. We had to encounter it in the league once because I had never seen it at that point.
Meanwhile, Procyon attacking tax returns here. He's very good at calculation. For all the early drama we've seen from that varicolored squares advantage Espik has gained, Procyon could easily gain it back in tax returns, especially if he gets it and Espik doesn't.
Procyon has shown that they do quite well with calculation type modules, so definitely a chance to make up some of the ground that they are losing due to the strike.
The unknown cipher completed on Espik's side, now maintaining that lead. Now it's kind of a race to see who can get through the tax returns faster to the rest of it.
Procyon gets it.
Procyon side.
Is the tide shifting in their favor?
I do believe at this point, Espik already has the Mastermind Cripple solved, correct?
That's correct. Six and a half minutes remaining for Espik, 5.5 for Procyon. Solve count neck and neck right here, numerically speaking.
Procyon over here praying for Espik to strike on taxes. Ooh. That's how you know it's close, is when the other's sweating.
So you see Procyon starting to dial in the colors here. I think, again, he's... Is he working from right to left? How interesting.
They are working right to left as well.
That's such an unorthodox choice, and they're both making it, if I'm understanding that correctly.
Procyon also seemed to be, a lot of people I've noticed will kind of, when they find their neutral or dead color, they'll reset everything to it and find one color at a time. That's kind of what we saw Espic do. Procyon, on the other hand, seemed to just leave the color that was wrong wherever it was without reverting back, which I think is a good way to save a few seconds.
Well, they got it done one way or another. Espic solves tax returns at the same time, and now both are staring at their waste management.
Ooh,
Espic.
There's the strike for Espic. Yep. Still has the little bit of a time lead because it's a later strike. Again, showing exactly how important it is to get the confident solves in first, and maybe doing the iffy stuff later.
Espic did submit 0 for paper. It was an intentional solution, but clearly not correct. Procyon progressing through quickly onto the leftover stage. And they get it. Forget it not, and this should be an easy string of digits to replicate. Now, it comes down to the bomb timer. That's not a huge issue, that's like, unless he blows up. No, he didn't. 2:42 remaining. Epic's got to complete it with more time left on the bomb timer, and he does. Forget it not, defuse, and that is 3:49 left. Espic takes round 1 of the best of 4.
All right. I was not sure about this rule right here, about waste management, whether it means to disregard this condition entirely, or only follow that condition if the paper rule applied.
I don't know the manual in front of me. I'm not sure what he's referring to there, Espic, but in any event, we're sure now he's got the first one under his belt.
Elias, slight ruling. Procyon wants to know if they can get a point for dabbing.
Only if we're using the point system as we did previously, where you don't want points.
Oh no.
Disaster.
Panic.
So it's a bit unfortunate. Procyon with the faster real-time solve there, but the earlier strike was it was just a little too early, caused too much of a time sink. Although the two real-time solves were within like 10 seconds of each other. Very impressive. Very, very tight. That's what we like to see in the finals.
I believe it was the black page and whichever module was in the bottom left that wasn't cruel. It was on the other side, I believe. Oh, loop over, yeah. So starting with those two very straightforward modules, according to them, to get through. Loop over I've done myself. Black page, probably a lot easier for the musically inclined at least. Oh, I hadn't even noticed there was a second strike for Procyon.
Procyon misclicked on Forget It Not, but as long as he didn't blow up, it wouldn't have. They wouldn't have.
Oh yeah,
had an impact there. Of course, if they did blow up on that, it would have been 10 solves, and Espic would have had an even easier time as a result.
I did look back at that. The real-time difference between the two bombs was 9 seconds. So extraordinarily close.
Another close one, just kind of like last week.
Kind of like every week with these people, which has made it very, very fun to watch along.
Indeed.
So we move on to the second bomb now. As I understand, Espic has the advantage for the second one, meaning he will get 7 off his list, 3 off Procyon's, and 1 off the staff picks. See if we get the staff boss again, like we did on this bomb. I know it's the neutral bomb, but are we kidding here?
It was very, very. Well, I'll follow up on that. Yeah, with Procyon losing the neutral one, he does need to upset Espic on Espic's bomb here. So we will dive straight into Espic's bomb and see if Procyon is able to do that.
2 victories or bust. It's as simple as that. Oh, look, another Espic module. The world's largest button.
At bomb number 2. Well, probably not actually bomb number 2, but 2 in our sequence. And it's got the leveled up Forget It Not. The Forget Me Not. The OG boss module.
Yep, and this is Espic's advantage and Espic's boss. So
Boolean Venn diagram off the staff picks here. Let's see what. Trying to look for Procyon's modules here. They don't seem to have anything on the front side.
Wow, I'm great.
And a strike.
Very early strike.
Strike on the world's largest button. That's why it flashed up that light shade of red. And already, Espic working with a time disadvantage as Procyon looks at lasers. Espic moves swiftly onto varicolored squares and strikes there. And already Espic, who is up 1-0 in this match, is in a deep, deep hole.
If I'm to understand correctly, looking at the list of the Procyon modules that we have on this one are Boolean Venn diagram, laundry, and and pi. There we go.
Espic lighting up the grid on varicolored. Procyon disarming pi. 4 solves to 1 now as varicolored gets done.
Espic's really gonna have to trailblaze through this bomb to be able to stay on pace to have a chance on it. That's just shy of probably halftime at this point. Well, probably more toward like 3/3, I think. What the multiplier would go down.
Espic gets the first stage done correctly. Bada bing, bada boom.
That one is out.
Interesting decision to go back to the module you just struck on. I mean, Espic took a mental break, but for me, it probably would have been much later in the bomb when I got back to the module I just struck on.
Sometimes all you need is a small breather. Looks like they're both kind of trailblazing.
It should be noted that if Espic does strike again, Procyon will win immediately because they've got more solves. At least at the current moment in time.
Procyon with a blockbuster solve, still maintaining that solid lead with more time. They're just making it flow. Their own pace. With the speedy clicks on the
oh, excuse me.
Nice save, Panda.
It looked like Yaba's had to take a quick hop to reboot something.
I know Discord does that sometimes. Makes for really awkward times sometimes.
Could be a little finicky. So Espix fought back to 6 solves to Procyon's 8 at the moment.
Taking that opportunity to put in the laundry.
Yep, 6 is as good as 0. So let's see, which modules have we had? Oop, Procyon up to 9 now. Waste management, very colored, black page, were all repeats from the neutral bomb. As was Pi. I think the others are all new to this bomb. One thing about this. Go ahead.
Yes, I believe so. I know black page, waste management, and I think it was varicolored squares. You said.
Yes.
Those
actually,
ones are
Pi
all.
and laundry.
I was on the last one.
Believe so.
Pi was on the last bomb. Hey, sorry for the internet disconnect. I'm back now. Things
Welcome
happen.
back.
Well, Espic has narrowed the lead to 9-all now. Espic
Yep.
with waste management to go, Procyon with world's largest button, and then the boss for each of them.
That's essentially one and the boss.
Will admit it's not looking good for Espic in this current situation. And if he does set the bar now, it's not going to be a very hard one to beat. 2 modules in just under 3 minutes. Not exactly a very high bar to go over.
Procyon did the first hold successfully on the world's largest button. Espic blazing through waste management this time.
Yeah.
And through, forget it, not punching in. And he will be
Get me now.
the first to complete the bomb, but check Procyon's bomb timer.
We got the faster real time, however,
Strike.
it looks like. Yeah,
Well,
there's
it wasn't the
strikes.
start I wanted,
That
but
is. I believe that
at
is
least I didn't blow
now
up.
a reset essentially on the world's largest button. There's hope yet.
4:56, the bomb timer to beat. Now the timer running at 1 1/4 speed, 1.25x. Can they do it to tie this match up? Otherwise, Espic is the champion. But no, Procyon gets it, and they're punching in Forget-Me-Not.
They get the digits,
Of
and they
course
did.
got it. Of course, Procyon gets it.
It is now, I believe, 1-1 for both sides at this point.
Indeed. In kind of a mirror from what we saw in the first one, this time Espic had the faster real-time solve, but again, the early strikes turned it around, gave the win to Procyon.
Credit to
those
Espic for staying resilient through that, but now he's going to
Oh,
have to
yeah.
steal it on Procyon's turf.
Face of adversity. I mean, at this point, even no matter which side wins, no bombs have detonated right now. If these guys were in the SWAT team, I would feel like I'm in safe hands if they're on it.
Well, this is it for everything. One bomb to rule them all. Shall we get into it?
Let's see what we have in store for the lads today.
Indeed. Now, Procyon was able to steal away victory from Espic's advantage bomb. Is Espic able to do the same to salvage this victory, or will Procyon take it on their own advantage bomb? We'll be listening to Procyon's audio for this one. We see Black Page makes its 3rd visit to this bomb.
And it's 14, the boss module.
No.
I can't believe I had to think how many segments that display was. I am not a smart man. 14 segments on that display with red, green, and blue color channels. Having to perform computations for each of the 3 channels you receive per stage. All the competitors had to prove the modules and their list in a certain number of minutes to prove that it was possible to do in a reasonable amount of time.
But yeah, this is going to be a very dastardly combination here. We got 14 and a few other time-consuming ones, or ones that are very easy to trip up on if you aren't paying close attention. Especially with something like pattern cue. Yes, because if you don't watch exactly how those rotations happen to put them in, they'll get you, and it can throw off an entire answer if you aren't ready for it.
Pi is also making its 3rd appearance as Espic solves it.
Another one where you have to combine those channels.
Procyon is looking at life iteration, if I recall correctly. Is that right?
That is that one, yes.
Correct.
4 iterations of Game of Life, a module that many people are familiar with, but never quite like this.
If I recall correct, the first, I'll say, incarnation of Game of Life had iterations like this, but I think it was causing bugs or something, and it had to be changed.
I do remember it had multiple stages. I didn't know that if it was a difficulty rationale for it being toned down. That was my understanding, but it has been quite a while.
Procyon got it
all
right.
River is correct. It wasn't a bug. It was pointless. I mean, enough people liked it to where they got life iteration, so. Yeah, I suppose.
Okay,
anything higher than. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm just going to say there is no way Procyon got the stage that quickly. Either they're lightning quick at it or they're just not doing it.
I would go with the latter, given that sometimes these combinations, they're not doing it.
Neither is Espic. Well, you're allowed to tank the strike and then check all the stages. Remember, the tiebreaker is whoever solves more modules or whoever solves the same number of modules with more time left on the timer.
I think they're going with the one with more timer. I know that's what I would do if I had to bite the bullet on something. Thought crossed our team's mind multiple times. For some of the teams that we would be fighting.
And we did see both of these players do this in I believe it was quarterfinals. It might have been the semis, but I believe it was quarterfinals. That they had versions of where they had a bomb that had 14 and some other time-consuming stuff, and nobody gave it a glance.
I thought that seemed familiar. By the way, Espic is up 7-4 already as he goes into Pattern Cube. Procyon, they are finishing a multi-stage module, 10-button color code. Interactively by the looks of it. Which is probably the best way to do it when EFMing.
Yeah, given that you don't exactly have to ask, you just have to confirm it yourself.
Got it.
Anytime that I see actually come up, I try to identify the symbols myself.
Fun fact, the Timwee symbol is totally a symbol in X-Ray, but Timwee, the module's author, refuses to have it called that. Like, no, it's a binary tree symbol. I forget what he wants it to be called, but...
It's okay, we know what it's called in our hearts. The Timwee symbol.
Procyon's got it 8-6 now as they mouse over Color Edition. Espic's got 10-button color codes on his end now. One down. That's now 2 modules on this bomb with red, green, blue color mixing between this and 14. This big solution seems to be the same as Procyon from earlier. But it's wrong, and he strikes.
Ooh.
With 8 solves, a numerical solve advantage, but now a strike deficit as his timer accelerates. And Procyon gets Color Edition. And the module just ooh-wooed. No actual shame intended. That would not be cool.
It's to each their own kind of environment. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
I just really want to know if these bombs will still be able to be done, considering that 14's on there, with both of them giving complete disregard to it.
Well, remember, Espik therefore only has 1 strike to give by that logic. Otherwise, the best he can do is 10, barring a ridiculous fluke. Procyon Dialing and Pattern Cube gets it. And moves on to chord qualities. Espik, Life Iteration. 9 to 8 Espik. 1 strike Espik to none for Procyon. For the EFM 2020 League title. Procyon's on 9.
There.
Penultimate module, Synchronization.
Both on the penultimate module for each side. Wait, no.
Yep.
Yeah.
And with Procyon's position there, we actually can kind of keep an eye on what Espik should be getting for Life Iteration.
That's true.
And it looks like an ear, doesn't it?
Really does. Seashell, something with that spiral shape.
All hail the magic conch. Syncing up on the last digits of 2, and Procyon is on to 14.
Extreme Gamer, that is correct. Currently, were both ignoring the 14, as calculating the stages in between just takes way too much time. More time than 15 minutes would allow if you legitimately did it per stage.
Alright, so there's the strike Procyon tanked as discussed. Now they will cycle through the stages.
So, is there like a button to actually cycle through the stages?
Strike on
Ooh.
game of on Life Iteration by Espik. He does not have a strike to give now. Hang on, and he can only get to 10 solves with 5.5, but Procyon got there sooner. Am I understanding correctly that this is mathematically over?
Unless Espik has some
No,
idyllic
Procyon got
memory.
there sooner. That's it. Procyon, it is dawning on me, is the 2020 EFM champion. They simply have to be.
Short of Espik having some photographic memory on the stages of 14 that flashed by super quick.
Yeah, he's dead to a 14 fluke.
I mean, I've seen crazier things before. I've guessed a forget-me-not before. It's unlikely, but
No
it is
kidding.
possible. So, I'm curious to see how this will play out.
Well, what will I do if that happens?
I'd be speechless. I mean, I would know what to say.
I'll go down my main street, no shirt or mask.
Oh, no.
You scoundrel!
I'm too modest to do more than
Oh.
that. Procyon, that would be your funeral.
Caleb, I'm highlighting what Caleb says. I'd straight up say, screw it, drop the bomb and play with the alarm clock. Sometimes it's all you can do. Now, unfamiliar with 14 myself, it'll just keep cycling through the stages until it gets through all of the stages, and then it'll let him be able to submit again.
That's
Is that
right.
correct?
There's the submit stage right as you say that, in fact. So, having seen all the stages now, Procyon using those red, green, and blue channels and the LED lights they've seen will perform a series of calculations, much like Simon's stores in a way. Not coincidentally. And hopefully we'll get the right answer. Espic, meanwhile, still stuck on life iteration with 2 minutes to go on the bomb timer. So you see a red November typed in there.
There
As
it
Espic
is.
gets life iteration right. Espic's got to fluke it here. Otherwise, it is officially over. Red 6 for Espic. And Espic strikes out.
There it is.
Procyon gets it. Procyon, 2020 EFM champion.
The lad, Procyon, over here with the 14 solve at the very end as well.
Why not? The exclamation point on top, so to speak.
And for the two bombs to finish at the roughly same real time, again, keeping some element of the time relevant. Maybe not the one there Espic would have liked, but no, as Yaba has so wonderfully put it, that does decide it. Procyon is going to be joining the Hall of Fame of EFM modded EFM champions. I think both Espic and Procyon are in the league talk room. I'm assuming that they're willing to be pulled in. If they're not, then that's too bad. Let's bring in Espic first. Hello,
Hi.
Espic.
You are live on
Welcome.
Twitch.
Wait, I am?
No.
Feel free to.
All right.
If you don't wish to be, you don't have to be. You can bail out.
I'm good. I'm just joking.
Or he might have AFK'd. Bold move.
Yeah.
Just, you're coming with us.
Oh boy,
Could be
that
wrong.
was
Well,
a very
one thing
interesting round.
Procyon can say, I hope we hear from Espic soon, but one thing Procyon can say, 2-time champion in 2020.
Mhm. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
you acted like
yeah, Espic.
Okay. You acted like you didn't for a second. I'm like, wait, what?
I'm now looking at Twitch chat straight up. Procyon, if you just put all ciphers in your list, then yeah, no one,
Mhm.
literally
I'm-
nobody can ban
I
all your
have
ciphers.
a lot of preparation to do for next season.
Oh yeah.
He is kind of predictable in his modules that he'll probably bring to the table, so I'm going to try and practice those. But anyway, for this match, yeah, I just made pretty dumb mistakes on.
Oh, we lost Yaba.
Yeah, I made pretty dumb, especially on the first bomb there. I got 2 strikes like back to back right away. That was pretty bad. I mean, I did better elapsed time in the first and third bomb, but if I didn't get those strikes, I probably would have won 2-1. But just it happens. Oh, that's fine. You can hear me.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for talking over that. My Discord just acted up completely. I hope I didn't ruin the entire interview there.
Well, you didn't ask me anything.
No.
Not at all. Oh.
I mean, I know you said at the beginning you were just happy to be involved and that Procyon would go all the way, but hey, you gave it a good run there. Did you have like a percentage idea? Like, did you think it was 50-50? Did you genuinely think Procyon had the advantage there, or did you fancy your chances?
Well, I knew that Procyon would probably win his bomb since there are some models on his list I'm very slow at. I'm slow at life iteration. I'm kind of slower at tax, not by much, I don't think. And 14, I just didn't try. I actually did not expect him to solve that
Neither did
14.
they.
Yeah, I saw you both kind of disregard it, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's a fair move, and I would completely understand that.
Mm. I'm Yeah, but fortunately, I mean, those bombs actually were easier than the quarterfinals and semifinals for EFM. We probably got. Go on.
Well, you two picked the modules.
I mean, the thing with Perseon's list, that he had like 5 or 6 really hard stuff, and the rest were kind of easy. So, and two of the 5 or 6 hard stuff were vetoed. So
Like,
I didn't have to worry about much.
You can only put in so much before your bomb doesn't qualify in the first place. After all, that's how the format works, obviously.
Yeah.
It's an interesting balance that you get to see people run through their head.
I mean, I was struggling with my submission. Like I was just striking all the time. I mean, I was also dealing with HexOS and Password Destroyer. I came in this thinking they're just going to veto one of those models, not both, since that's how it worked in season 2, where you only got one veto until finals or
It
until
should be noted, of course, that we displayed the bombs out of order. So while there were some early jitters there on the early 2 bombs, the first one we showed was actually the last one you did, where you went, I believe, almost strikeless. It wasn't. It was certainly.
I struck on waste management because one of the rules in the manual just I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do. Like I could read it, it's just like, okay, do I ignore this part completely, or do I only ignore this part and not that?
I forget what that rule is offhand. I'm not sure if you remember.
It was like if this rule applies, unless if the previous rule applied, then do this instead. And even if it doesn't even matter. And what I've learned is that the first condition is unless if that was already applied, you don't even have to look at it at all. You just immediately go to the second part. Apologize if you can hear my dog in the background.
Oh, is that what that is? Okay.
I thought you were like playing with a mouse wheel or something, to be honest.
I had the exact same thought, actually. It does
I'm
kind of sound
surprised
like
my cats will. I'm surprised my cats haven't interrupted this stream. That's been really, really good.
I'm usually not. I'm not in my office right now. I'm at my tables because you got me. You got me eating. I was finishing eating while this was happening. So.
Well, now you're interviewing.
Yeah.
I finished eating.
Well, I'm glad you participated, Espic.
I almost didn't participate. That's right. I was thinking I'm just gonna be too busy, so I submitted it last minute. I'm thinking might as well just try. I did not expect to win, or not expect to get as far. Honestly,
it was a good showing the whole way through, and I mean 11-1 in Swiss is amazing record.
Mm-hmm.
I think was Grunkle the only one who took a win from you in the first 4 weeks, I believe.
Yeah. I'm not too like I'm not complaining about that loss. Honestly, wasn't that major.
Yeah, you were a lock into the bracket round at that point.
Well, formidable competition. Grunkle made it to the bracket round 2, of course.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Off that bomb win, actually.
The only bomb Grunkle truly won this whole season.
Oh.
Oh, shots fired.
Alrighty. If we do have we're almost certainly not having winter, but if we do have come back for a spring 2021, you gonna hop back in EFM again?
Oh yeah. However, for teams, I'm honestly like not too sure if I want to do teams again. If I do, I'd want like the teams to be like different.
Oh.
I just wanted to be more interesting since I felt this isn't going to be interesting going into finals this season. since LFA wasn't or didn't make playoffs.
Well, we'll soon see. I think there might be more teams the next go round. That's my prediction. We've seen how competitive everyone gets on the mission bombs, so I wonder if that'll translate to future league participation. But only time will tell.
See. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Espic. Feel free to stick around, but we will go ahead and bring our winner in at this time. Procyon,
The
welcome.
winner! You're live on Twitch.
Welcome.
Wow, there's a lot of people here.
First off,
Eva, can you still run down the street shirtless? I'd really appreciate it.
No.
That was only.
What
there's
am I
only
even
one
doing
condition.
here?
oh,
Why am I even in this channel if I don't get?
I haven't even done a
Alright,
face reveal.
alright.
You want me to do a shirtless reveal? Forget it.
Hey,
Forget
man.
it not.
Well, congratulations, first off. Coming into this one as slight, not being the favorite. I don't know if that psyched you up to do better. Worked against you. But either way, it turned out to work out for you here in the end.
I don't know, something worked out. I didn't feel like I was the favorite coming in, just out of the fact that my module list was not well designed. Because it was all in the polarization, and Espic mentioned this already. My module list was very polarized towards really hard stuff and really easy stuff, like chord qualities, pi, that's easy stuff. I'm not gaining a lot of time over people on that BBD. But like things like 14, you're never going to even attempt a 14. And even in that last match, there were 14. It mattered in that it locked Espic out once he hit 2 strikes, but it still, the solve didn't matter. So I need to come up with a much more balanced list for next season. And someone who did come up with a really good list, I think Caleb had the most balanced list of the entire channel.
All ciphers. That would be balanced.
That would be balanced, yes. That would be balanced.
Get
Well,
two different teams, one with all
probably-
the ciphers, and one with all the colored squares.
I mean, all the finalists
There you
took
go.
orange and yellow away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. I really like colors.
Oh well, we I mean, what more is there to be said? That was a well-deserved win. Always nice to snipe a win away when somebody else has the advantage. In my mind,
It was a great show. I gotta give a big shout out to Espic throughout this, because Espic put up a really great show. Beat me in both of the quarterfinals and semifinals. A shame I didn't see him during the regular season. And of course, the winning diffuser for the tournament, and in my opinion, still the best diffuser. Like period, full stop. So major props to him, and major props for a fantastic fight.
And you're
Thank
sharing
you.
the team's trophy to show for it.
2 for 2,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah, you still got any confetti left over from the last win, so to speak?
I'm in my underwear in bed, so it would be
Oh,
to find it.
Oh no.
And we don't get to see that double standard. Just kidding.
Hey.
that's gonna have to be blurred out of the YouTube export. Oh,
Demonetized.
right when Procyon says that they're in their underwear, just like blur the entire screen.
I mean, you just added to the problem, Rock Dude.
There you go.
All right. I'm fully dressed. Fine.
oh.
Anyway, we're actually back now after that cutout section.
Welcome back, everybody.
Well, this has been. Both of you have done an amazing job throughout this. Excellent performances throughout. Very nice, very competitive. Really, all the bombs you two have both been involved in. From a spectator standpoint, there's very little more I could have asked for. Caleb wants to know how he's friends with you all.
I question that myself sometimes too.
I can refer you only to my Discord status. That's a YP, not an MP. Your problem.
Oh,
I think your
well,
stand is expired.
well, with that, that's going to bring a close to the KTaNE League fall 2020. We have our team winner that we announced in the last video, which has been heavily hinted, and hopefully you paid enough attention to hear who it was. We have Procyon as our winner here in the EFM Finals category, and that's going to wrap things up. From a standpoint of a moderator, of the director of this, thank you not just to you two, but to all the competitors who gave it their best attempts week after week. The league is, if you count the brackets and the one extended week, 8 weeks from start to finish, not counting the, getting your modules set up, getting your, validation solve in. It's a little bit of a time commitment. I'm sure you two can speak on that probably more from how much time commitment it is for a player. But it's not something that's just, hop in for 30 minutes once a week and call it a day. So I personally thank all of the competitors, teams, EFM, both, for sticking through, making through it, even at points where the output seemed predetermined. Everybody gave it their all. Thank you to Rock Dude, Yaba, River, and MCD who have commentated rather this season in these videos with me. Extra special thank you to River. I 100% could not have ran it this season without River. River saved my butt numerous times, has been an invaluable resource in doing seed checks and helping the players with, director necessary assistance, getting some coding done on the side for things to help in the future. River has been the backbone. I may be the face sometimes, but River is the backbone.
Real MVP putting in that confirmation message when the log message got sent. That was the MPV move. I loved it.
Well, agreed to all of that, but of course, thank you, Elias, for another successful edition of League, and see you in spring.
Indeed.
Maybe when COVID sucks a lot less, even though we'll still be socially distanced anyway by design.
We can hope. For those in the Discord, if you have a channel, an EFM or a team channel, those will be closing in the next week or two. So anything you want from those, grab it. If you have any videos there that I have not posted online yet, I will do so unless you specifically ask me otherwise. Exceptions being like Espic, who's already posted all of his. Procyon, I believe, has posted all of theirs already. So excluding that sort of situation, if you got a video and it's not been posted, I'll do my best to post it next week or so. I will open up channels probably later this week to talk about changes for the spring season, potential rule suggestion changes, a revamp of anything that really needs to be revamped. I know there's been talk that, as was mentioned here, teams can't be identical. There's been talk about some more or different restrictions on the module list, some variations to the bombs so that they're not all 11 and 15. But we will set up some channels and we will have good discussions about that in the kind of break before we get into another season of this.
The off season.
In the off season, yes. Procyon, will we be seeing you next season as well?
You'll be seeing a lot of me. You'll be seeing me streaming. You'll be seeing me doing the league. You'll be seeing me.
Excellent. All right. Well, I guess with that wraps up this season. Thank you again to everybody so much. And we will see you come spring for the next season. If you want to stay informed, the main KTaNE League is a good place to check out. www or Yaba, what's the site for the main KTaNE Discord?
Discord.gg/KTaNE. That's Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes.
Or Kilo Tango Alpha November Echo.
Precisely. We'll teach you.
Just stay within the theme. Haha.
Brilliant. I love it. And if you want to be involved a little more in view with the league itself, I have posted in the Twitch chat the link to the Discord specifically for the KTaNE League. We'll keep things in. If you have ideas, if you have suggestions, if you just want to rant or praise people, whichever the case may be, you can always go do it there as well as on the main Discord. But anyway, I think that's a wrap, everyone. Thank you all so much for everything you've done. Thank you for watching, people. And
Sierra Charlie, Sierra Charlie.
Stay crazy, stay cruel.
We'll all see you later. Bye.
See ya.